folks, how's it going? It is Friday. We made it to the end of the week. We're doing some game dev again. Hope you've all had a good week and enjoyed your Friday so far. I've had a pretty decent Friday and a pretty good week. Really can't complain. Things have been going quite well. So fingers crossed, things stay that way. And so I know to a certain extent you make your own luck. You make your own destiny by putting in the energy. And I put a bit of the energy in this week, so I have to thank myself for some of the week going well. But not to forget that things have happened that are maybe not in my control, and I'm thankful for, but things that are in my control, I am thankful that I put the effort in to make them good. So a little bit of positive energy putting in and a little bit of positive energy coming back. So I'm happy of all of that. But I hope you've all had positive energy as well and had good things happening. Hey, evening, Hugs. How's it going? Hey, Max. Good to see you, dude. How's your week been? Hope you've been keeping well. You say you're, is it WASD? WASD? This week? Can't remember when you said you were going off to there. I did have a look into that WASD festival. It looks pretty cool. Might have to do something with that next time. So I have been looking at EGX in London, the XL. Tempted getting tickets for EGX. EGX are teaming up with MCM Comic Con this year, which some people see is possibly a bad thing because it means they have to. They're having to team up with MCM Comic Con as opposed to it's a decision they've taken out of business choices. It's been okay. Off to WASD tomorrow for the day. Awesome. Yeah, I'm thinking about EGX. And apparently because I teamed up with MCM Comic Con London, an EGX ticket gets you into Comic Con and vice versa. So I'm not sure how expensive the tickets be because they're a combined Comic Con / EGX ticket. But the tickets aren't released until next month. I'll have a look at those. Because I've only been to EGX in London once. But it was fun. It's basically just a large Insomnia. And because I went to Insomnia that year, and I went to EGX later in the year, it was basically the same exhibitors. It's like, maybe it wasn't worth doing both. So I might not do Insomnia later in the year. I might just do EGX, so just get the same experience but in a larger venue at the XL. And the XL is massive. I'm sure you've probably seen the XL. But yeah, that's pretty much a sort of a sustainable village in itself. You want to go to EGX? It is pretty cool. I say it is basically Insomnia, but 4-5 times the size. And you do have some bigger names. I see TikTok is one of the big sponsored names for this coming EGX. What that brings, I don't know. I don't know what advantage to having TikTok exhibiting. Maybe some TikTok creators will be there. But hopefully that the big names in video gaming will be there this year, because there's been falling away from Insomnia. Insomnia are not getting so many of the big names, which is disappointing, because in the past Insomnia has had all kinds of big names in gaming, like Gearbox. Gearbox were there the one year with Borderlands 3, and that big kind of display stand that was really cool. You get to play Borderlands 3. Sony's been there most years. Microsoft haven't been there for a long time. Nintendo's usually at Insomnia in one way or form. But otherwise, you're not seeing a lot that's Insomnia, which is one of the things I'm disappointed in. But hopefully, they're going to be there at EGX, and it's going to give me more to look at. But I'm thinking about EGX because, especially as they teamed up with Comic Con, and they are basically in neighbouring halls, I believe, for this year. That's going to be later in the year. Let's say tickets go on sale next month. WSD is held at the Truman Brewery in East London. Ooh, okay. Don't think I've been there. I know of the brewery, I believe. Oh, a bit of an ulcer on my tongue. That's not nice. I hope that's cool. When are you setting off tomorrow morning, are you, for that? Decided to make myself a mocha. Was such a thing. Some hot chocolate powder and some coffee granules. With a bit of milk, hot water. Very nice. Fancy something sweet and something with caffeine, so I have myself a hot chocolate coffee. Very nice indeed. Let's get some music on the go, because my headset will turn itself off if there is no audio coming through it. Not that there's anything else for me to listen to. My alerts don't make sounds. I need to look at why my alerts don't make audio for me. I'm sure I'll have to see if it comes through the stream when people follow and stuff, but it doesn't happen very often. So I never know. Never know if it works or not. What should we go for? Let's go for a breakout from February last year? March last year. Let's go for a breakout from March last year. Leaving at 7:30 tomorrow morning to get to London for 9:30. Ooh, that's early. So I suspect you won't be on here for too long. But yeah, I know London is a 2-hour journey. But I'm going down to London on Monday. Myself, Nix, my brother, and my sister-in-law. We've got tickets to see Stardew Valley, or the music of Stardew Valley, live in concert. So that's gonna be fun to see. That's a Cadogan Hall. It's a hall I've not come across before. It's smaller. Normally these things are held at the Royal Albert Hall, but this one is a smaller hall in the more remote part of London. I'll stay around until about 10:30, then I'm going. That's fair enough. Let's give my nose a quick blow before we get on with this. Let's mute my microphone to save your ears. Ah, that's better. My head feels about £10 lighter after all that being blown out. Where's the Stardew Valley show? Let's have a quick look. I can't remember the name. Let's do a quick looky. I did have it on my lookup. Cadogan. Cadogan? Let's type it in the chat. Cadogan Hall. There you go, Cadogan Hall. Not sure how you're supposed to pronounce that. It's a historic venue, the heart of Chelsea. Presenting a wide range of events from classical music, jazz and musical theatre. Near Stardew Valley, the Festival of Seasons is the event. Looking on Google Street View, there are kind of etched into the doors of this hall are First Church of Christian Scientists or something. So it looks like the hall was once a church. This is now a hall for the arts, which I feel personally is to be a bit more of a use of a building. Let's put some new audio so you can hear the music. Yeah, it's coming through the headphones, that's fine. Push the wrong button. There we go. Let's put that volume up a bit. Turn down my ear and have it there so the stream should be able to hear it a bit more louder. Okay, so let's have a quick look at my my notes for what I plan to do today. Looks like the O2 Institute Birmingham as that was an old church. Oh right, I did not know that. It's not too big, but yeah, it's kind of the same size as the Institute. Game dev notes. I didn't write any notes after the last stream. That's useful. But based on Jeffrey's feedback, I've put in keyboard controls. So WASD is now in place. The wall cracks. Need to randomize the wall cracks. And animation in the castle falling. Now, I think Dev BB, who was in the stream last week, mentioned a GitHub link for like a splicer, like a model slicing tool that just breaks up a Unity model, turns it into many pieces. So I might have to have a quick look at that, because that might be useful for making the building fall down. O2 was a Methodist church. Oh right. So that's good that we're making use of these once religious buildings for another type of religion, which is entertainment, I suppose. Right. One thing we can definitely do is look at the cracks. So where is that element? It is a. I think it's in the prefab there. Hit grid square. That's the code. Where's the actual hit grid? That's the one. So this object here. Sorry, that's the hit grid. We want the hit grid square. Hit grid square. That one there. There we go. There's the square. So probably just about see underneath the panda in here. The panda's not really in the best place. I might have to move the panda. So put the panda above me. The panda doesn't do a lot, but oh, there he goes, there he goes. Hey, let's put him down here. Let's put the panda down there. That's probably the best place for the panda. It's sleeping down there. So you can see what's going on down here a little bit better now. So down here we have I've set 3 materials that you can apply to the this object. Well, 4 materials. The 4th material is its default material. And the first 3 are what it will change to once the player hits the object. So at the moment all 3 materials are set as crack mats or crack material, but I need to import 2 more crack materials to place in material 2 and 3. And that will randomize it. So I could do a little googling and see if I can find some non-descript crack type things. So where's the other crack material? So we've got our first crack material down here, this crack mat, and that is using crack free image here. So let's make another material. Let's go create a material. Never forgot. You never forgot. Never forget. Never forget. I don't know, I've forgotten. What am I? The 26th of April. It is etched in time. It's been a whole year since the meeting. Let's call this crack mat 2. Crack mat 2. Huh. Even though you lost track of time, yes. Lost track of time. Is the concept of time seems to escape you when you're in Amsterdam, for one reason or another. So glad we managed to get there. Well, managed to get there at full stop. Yeah, I would have liked to have got there a bit earlier. It would have been nice to have seen the cat cafe despite what we know about the cat cafe. And spend a bit more time with you and Lisa. That would have been cool. Cool? That would have been quite cool, is what I meant to say. But that's a shame. No shame we never got to do that. But we spent a nice bit of time sat outside and eating from Phoebo. And probably for my mind to be a little less cloudy would have been nice as well. But next time I visit the Netherlands, I should be less cloudy, so to speak. Let's change these settings. Can we? That cut out. I wonder if it's worth just copying CrackMac. Can we do that? Doesn't look like there is a option to copy it. So we have to recreate another material of similar properties. As a child, I identified as a vampire. I don't mean like I like to dress up as a vampire. I mean, for years, identifying as. I wore cape everywhere. Refused to eat garlic, even though I loved it. That is quite the. I know a lot of younger people and children kind of like to have different identities. You drank red drinks only as well. Yeah, that's quite until you were 10. Yo, Lisa was up. Jeffrey was a weird kid. I can believe that. I can believe that. He became a communist as well. It still is weird. Just not good. I think that applies to a lot of men. A lot of men sort of remain what they were when they were young children. They're just not as young. Went to East Berlin and bought a communist hat. Oh wow, you fully leaned into that then. Yeah, I've seen a thing before that. So women change as they get older. They become different people as they progress through life. Men are just boys who get older. Men will act like a more mature business, respectable kind of person. Just because that's what society suggests they should be. But unreal, a man is still the same boy they were. Refused to take off until I was 12. I only wore camo coloured clothing. So wore camo, communist hats. You're a vampire. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with remaining the child you were, as long as you approach things in a mature manner as you get older. That's the main thing. Yes, funny, like Lisa says now, while sitting next to me, you're the biggest anti-communist I know. It's funny how things like that happen. It is funny. Is that your beliefs when you're younger and your approach when you're younger can be completely opposite to a person as they get older. And that's healthy. That is healthy to go, well, what I believed and how I acted as a child or when I was younger, doesn't matter what your age is not how I believe and act now. And that's maturity, that's progression. As long as it can happen both ways, but you would think as you mature, as you get older, you have a more kind of broader spectrum of thought. Be right back, Ozzy wants food, okie dokie. Go and feed the fuzzy one. The Dark Lord demands food. So what's that? That is a 0. Smoothness is 0. 0. I told you about my obsession with the Viet Cong that went hand in hand, of course. Okay, yeah, that's understandable. I think a lot of people kind of, if you're someone who is exposed to those kind of cultures, you probably have a phase where you think, well, actually, I agree with some aspects of that. And when you're younger, it's not really pick and choose. It's about you fully lean one direction or the other. Unfortunately, there's some people that never become centralists in any way or form. They still heavily lean one direction, even if it's not healthy. So my Mao Zedong bag I wore to school, my communist hat in it. To be completely fair, I think I like the aesthetics of their uniform. To be fair, they knew how to dress. So a lot of uh, these regimes have good kind of aesthetics to them. It's probably part of the reason they become so popular is that they have a good image. They have a good PR, I suppose. Whether that PR is propaganda based or whether it's done through any other means, they usually have a good image that people latch onto. Very centralist, by the way. I personally believe an extremity to any politics size brings oppression. I agree. Even in this country, there are elements of the Conservative Party that I would agree with. I just don't agree with the party as a whole. But they're not 100%. I'm not 100% against them. I'm just against most of what they do. So I'm definitely leaning towards one direction, but I'm not full leaning. And I usually like to see the opinions of all parties when it comes to elections. We do have a local elections next Thursday here. So we have the options of four parties. Generally, there are sometimes independents. But we have the Conservative Party, which is in power at the moment. The party of Boris Johnson. We have the Labour Party, which supposedly was the party for the working man. Not so much these days. They're pretty much like a conservative light. So they have similar policies in some places, but others they are polar opposite from the Conservatives. But they follow a lot of things. They have the Liberal Democrats, which is kind of the Liberal Party, looking to sort of be bit more open and looking after the needs of the people a bit more compared to what the Labour Party was supposed to be. And then we have the Green Party. We have the Green Party, which is mainly pushing for green stuff like greener energy, like renewable energies, green spaces, sort of electric vehicles, kind of things like that. Making life cleaner and more sustainable for people. The only thing is some of their policies don't come across as realistic. So that's the problem with those. And like Lib Dems, Liberal Democrats don't always have policies that go drive economy forward. So each party has something missing from them. But it's like, well, okay, what do you agree with the most? And I tend to like to look at those. Most certainly I do not agree with most of the Conservative Party. But it's not to say they don't have some things that are worth looking at. So I am fairly centrist, but leaning more towards the left. Election most close for me is Europe. Something you don't have to vote anymore for. Yeah, that's the thing. One of the things that was thrown around when the UK was in the EU is that our vote and opinion doesn't matter in the EU, which it did. It's just no one bothered. So they say, oh yeah, the EU don't listen to us because we don't bother to speak up. Another funny thing is you say centralist to the left, but it's so local based where left and right might be more centrist to the right in my country. True. It's kind of, you consider yourself, well, yeah, where centre is. Where centre is very much where the poles are. Is that, well, where's one extreme or the other, and you want to sit somewhere between it. But if the whole system is leaning one direction or the other, centre might actually be more right for one country than it is left for other. But I think generally we've got more of a right leaning government generally. So anything that's too left seems implausible. I know, for example, Norway is very, very socialist left wing. The way I vote in the Netherlands probably be very right wing there. In US, I probably see myself as a commie socialist. Yeah. That's the thing. The Americans consider anything which looks after the people, like universal healthcare, like the NHS for us, the National Health Service, is something that the UK is proud of, for the people at least. That we pay in a national national health insurance. We pay in, everyone who works pays into a national health insurance, and then anyone in the country can get free healthcare. And Americans see that as quite communist. Is that, well, everyone's contributing for everyone else? That's very communist. We can't have a universal healthcare. What if people need help and I'm paying for their help? I don't want to help people. You go, well, that's generally, if other people are being helped, you can be helped. It might be seen as communist to them, but it's we certainly don't have anything that communist here. They scream that quite fast, to be honest. Yeah. That's the crazy thing about the US. People I've spoken to, they say it's against their freedom. Not only that they had to pay for healthcare, they said no one was allowed to decide for them. They were paid for. Yeah. It's weird. The concepts in America are just weird to me. That sort of, it's basically everyone above everyone else. Kind of looking out for yourself and no one else. People are having to run, like, do GoFundMe's and like raise money just to get healthcare. And yeah, you can have that over here for like more extreme cases. Like, our National Health Service doesn't cover absolutely everything. If they don't feel it's a life-threatening or cost-effective healthcare, they won't cover it. You say, well, this thing costs too much and it has like a 10% chance it will help you live better. That's not a good odds. Why spend thousands of pounds to give you a 10% better life? So they won't cover it. Whereas it's like, I don't know, 90% quality of life improvement, they go, okay, it's worth spending the money. So people still have to raise their own money to pay for it privately. But generally, if it's something that's within a good cost range and it's cost effective, it's covered. I had this American girl that was quite confused when she found out we have a party called the Republican Party as well, but it's a far left socialist party that wants to abolish the monarchy. But that makes more sense. Like, the Republic is kind of more anti-monarchy, or so, hence the name, yeah. And she was like, but the Republican means conservative, and I was like, no. It means anti-monarchy. The US uses words for things, yeah. The Republican Party might have been more kind of anti-monarchy, but now they don't have a monarchy. They're anti other things now. Yeah, a lot of wording in America is confused, and people don't understand the full meaning of things anymore. And that's okay, language changes, but it gets confusing when other countries still use terminologies and wordings for things in their original form. But America's definitely the worst for evolving and losing the meaning of things. So we don't want reflections or highlights on this one. Fun fact about that. When I have to brush my teeth, and then you have to brush your teeth, but the US Republican Party was made later than the Democratic Party, and their base was to abolish slavery. They started as the anti-racist party. Oh right, but things shifted over 300 years. That's interesting. $250%. Somewhere 250 more, I think. Okay. Since the Civil War is 1860, so not through. Okay, yeah, gotcha. 1860 something, I don't know exactly. That's fair enough. It's in the past. A long time in the past. Well, to the Americans, that's a long time in the past. To us, that's kind of a scratch on the history book. Yeah, I've seen US tours where they show very old houses because they're 200 years old, etc. I was like, yeah, that's like every town and city in Central Europe. Yeah. The houses in my town alone, like that, the houses like literally like Shakespearean houses, Victorian houses. We have like a whole thing set up to preservation of these buildings, the historical artifacts. They have meaning and they're used for education. That well, this building has been here for many years, many hundred years. In London alone, like some of the buildings in London. 150, 150, 150 on the transparency. Cool, these two materials should be identical now. Of course, Almere has no old stuff for being built in the 60s, yeah. And I'm sure that kind of shows that you look around the town and go, actually, this shows no age in there. And it's sometimes weird when you look around with it. You notice how new something is. Rotterdam is a very old city, but the Germans completely bombed it to the ground. Completely nothing left. Oh wow! Like Coventry, the city near me, was one of the UK's major ammunition factories. Like they did a lot of manufacturing for the war in Coventry, so it was a prime target for the Germans. But there's still remnants of the old Coventry there. They kind of they've kind of left things as ruined, as like monuments to history, and they had to rebuild a lot around it. Germany has nothing left, I believe. Yeah, I imagine there's a lot of Germany got blown up in the war as well. Right, let's make a third material. We'll do the same thing we've just done. We just need to drag and drop some graphics onto them. Be right back. Brush teeth armor, okie dokie. Crack mat free. Let's do the thing. You're back, welcome back, Lisa. Ozzy was happy with food. That's good. Donya was also happy with food. Awesome. Uno was asleep. Ah. Was Uno tired out from an energetic day? Uno had a long day. Ah. Yeah, usually on a Friday, Paddington has quite a long day. He goes to a daycare, a doggy daycare, in the mornings, then comes here for the afternoons, then he gets walked here in the afternoon, stays here, gets walked home, and then usually by that time he has his food for the evening and then lies out flat. So he's a very tired dog by the time he goes home on a Friday. Which is good, because my brother just gets to enjoy a Friday night without an energetic dog. I go head off now. I'll see you on Monday. No stream on Monday. No stream on Monday. I'm going down to London. But I'll keep people informed. But next stream will be on Wednesday. Enjoy your trip down to London, Max, tomorrow. Enjoy WASD. Hope you have a good rest tonight. And yeah, hope your day's good. You have to let me know how it goes. Okay, see you Wednesday then. Yes, see you Wednesday. Yeah, I think I'll be back home by midnight on Monday. Let's then tick these two boxes here. Let's drag that crack into there for now. Change transparency to 150. Right, so we now have 3 materials that are identical. So we go to hit grid square. Where is it? There it is. And drag mat 2 to 2, mat 3 to 3. So we now have 3 cracks here, but they are the same graphic, but they're different materials. So all I have to do now is change the image on material 2 and material 3. And I have... You're welcome back, Jeffrey. Yeah, so I just need to drag 2 different crack graphics into these 2 materials now, and it automatically update into the game. So let's look at what this graphic is here. Alright, see if I can find some other cracks for now. Let's go crack PNG. "17 crack background ideas." Nice, there's some pretty cool cracks here. I'm not sure how many of these are actually license free, because as the internet usually is. Let's grab that one anyway. Pictures. By the way, next playthrough, new mod pack. Oh, okay. Somewhere updated. Awesome. This sounds like something I requested. It probably would be. I was thinking, a lot of these DJ sets will have a lot of music you requested in it. What do I want to do? I want to edit. Open with paint. Open this with paint first. And give a file save as a PNG. We added one more mod that adds more types of pets, so more dog breeds to choose from. Awesome. Let's see if this works as is. Where's the Unity? And ooh. Yeah, that didn't quite work. And us two have one mod installed that you two don't need. If you don't want it, only cancel or changes local sprites. Okay, so it's up to you. Depends if it's going to make if it's a cool one. Change the children to birds. Okay. Prefer animals over humans. It's fair. Yeah, I'll probably stick with the children. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Nice. Obama. That's a funny name. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good Friday. Enjoying your week so far. Yeah, so that graphic is no good to me. It's let's change that back. What is this game about? So this game is about throwing a basic premise is throwing this rock at that building until it falls down. And the motivation for that is your character is upset with the authorities that live in these large buildings, and they decide to throw rocks at them. Funny mod and birds are cute. Oh, the mod that adds date nights. Oh, okay. Also cool. It doesn't change anything for other players. Yeah, I like local mods sort of in that sense that it improves your gameplay. Like I have one that when you water the ground, it makes it look darker. So because I struggle to sometimes see the color change from like unwatered to watered. So I've got a mod that makes it look wet. So I know where I've definitely watered stuff. I'm thinking of adding one that adds the Zuzu City everyone talks about but never seen. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, Obama, this is it's basically a game. This is me learning how to make games in Unity. And it's kind of got a little bit more serious over time, but that's good because it's driving me to learn new things and add new things, and kind of getting experience of all kinds of different elements and different mechanics. And it doesn't matter if it's not great, but it's driving me to learn stuff. At the moment, I've worked out a system where when the rock hits the building, it makes a crack, but it becomes too uniform. So I've devised a means to have any one of 3 different cracks. So I'm working on cracks 2 and 3 right now. How about having multiple options to throw like an egg? Ah, yes, that's been suggested before. So one of the things I would like to do is to allow the player to swap out the rock for silly things like chickens or eggs or cows. Just funny things that a villager in a medieval setting might have access to. Cause it'd be quite funny to throw a cow, honestly. Or chickens, or... Not to promote any cruelty towards animals, but in a very Monty Python comedy-esque fashion, the one scene in Monty Python and the Holy Grail when the French start throwing animals over the wall, it's what's kind of inspired me for this. So like, yeah, you just have this cow flying towards the king and his knights. So yeah, I will swap that. I fairly recently swapped it to a rock. It's been a bowling ball for a long period of time because that was a thing that I first learned how to do. But yeah, I like to change it out so it's fun. The game itself's not too complicated, so we'll try and inject some fun and changes and stuff for stuff like that. Right, I need to make this background transparent, so let's just quickly load this graphic up. Yeah, might be able to sort of take like a survey of what kind of things people might find funny to throw at a castle. But certainly thinking like general farm animals, like things that might be lying around a medieval village. Like eggs for certain. It has to be a fairly large egg. Because it's using a trebuchet. So there's a trebuchet just off the side of the screen here. So you'd be loading it into that and you would see the trebuchet bit pulled back into the racking and then whoosh, throws forward. Right, can I use a background eraser tool on this image? Background eraser. But yeah, I need to make a note of that, Obama. I'll ask, yeah, ask in groups to see what Nix wants, chicken or birds. I have a feeling Nix will probably want children. I said chicken? Children. Children or birds. Chickens are birds. So we'll base our mod packs on that. Yeah, I have a feeling Nix might want the children. But definitely ask and see what they want. How about you? I'm quite happy with the children. Throw an entire horse as a gift. Yeah, we could put a horse in there. It could be the not so Trojan horse. This horse is coming at you not as a hidden weapon, but it is very definitely a in your face weapon. But I envision making this game crazier and crazier, Obama. Like, this isn't supposed to be in any way serious. This is a silly little game. And I want the player to feel like it's a fun experience doing a very simple thing of throwing objects at a castle till it falls down. It's kind of like it has an air of anti-establishment to it. You know, Happy Wheels. Happy Wheels. Doesn't feel familiar. Happy Wheels. It's an older game, like Windows XP time, browser based. Okay, don't think I've come across that. How can you not know Happy Wheels? Hey, joke DK. I don't know, maybe it passed me by. I did play a lot of browser games. How about a secret item like a teleporter to get to futuristic items? Yeah, that could be an idea. Put in all random things that shouldn't appear in that time. Maybe if the player achieves something, or they hit it. I want to do Easter eggs in this anyway, like the trees and the bushes. I want you to have objects that you could hit that will give you things, but aren't the castle, if that makes sense. They go, if you hit this, you get unlock an item. I feel like it was created like this, a silly game. It was just cool. Oh, it's cool, okay. I might have to look up like any historical stuff. Hello, how's it going, Joe DK? Queen, blimey, everyone's here. Hey, Queenie, it's good to see you. Hope you're having a good Friday. Hope you're all having a good Friday. But I like the idea of getting futuristic items of armor. That's cool. 2D vehicle-based game where any mistake would dismember your dude. Oh wow, I definitely don't remember that. Only people born in 2015 would know Happy Wheels. Okay, I'm ancient. I'm ancient of armor. Like I'm back from the days when games didn't have graphics. You have to type stuff in. How are you? I'm pretty good. It's been a good week, Queenie. I've had a good week. I've had a good Friday. How are you? How's things with you? So you get this person on the bike or wheelchair, whatever, and you try to get to the end while probably losing some limbs. That sounds like a very 2000s type game. I'm excited for this week. Oh, what's happening this week, Queenie? I'm definitely not born in 2015 either. True. Definitely played Happy Wheels. Yeah, maybe you, because you're like a decade behind me. So you might have been on like the latter end. Like I was born in the 80s. So I existed before Windows games. So you have to type in the name of the game that you want to play, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, browser games like Flash games. I used to play Flash games on Newgrounds and things like that. The game is way old, back when web browser games were popular. Yeah, I probably missed the end of the web browser games. A beehive could be thrown at item. Ooh. I like the idea of throwing a beehive because you can see the little bees and stuff. Barrel for something. It could be like a barrel of... I wouldn't like to say. It could be a barrel of poo. So Dreamlight Valley update on Wednesday, and on 7th Farm Together 2 is released early access. Nice. There's a couple of really chill games. I haven't played Dreamlight Valley for a while, but I loved playing that before it started getting more updates. I kind of got a little bit bored, so I thought, okay, I'll wait for the updates, and I've just not gone back. Sending a screenshot in our group, a non-gory one. Oh, cool. I shall check in a sec. So I have an idea of the graphics. What Newground games have you played? Oh, it's been a long time. Newground was a long time ago. There were some tank-based games, I think. Things like Stick Fight, I think, was a Newground game. It's on Steam now, Stick Fight. Farm Together, I have the first one on PC and Xbox. Nice. I think I have Farm Together. Never played it though. I have a lot of games. Like I've only played 10% of the games I own. As is the modern dilemma these days. There's more games than time, especially when people like me keep making new ones. Madness Combat. Possibly, most popular games in the early 2000s was when I was at college. ended up getting played on the college computers. B used to play Farm Together. She did, yes. Yeah, I remember seeing B playing Farm Together. Yeah, rather than doing class at college sometimes, we'd sometimes play on the college computers playing browser games. Because they couldn't block them initially. They did eventually, but they weren't hurting anyone. I sent B the information. Awesome, yeah. B loves finding out about these things. Because again, she's a busy bee. Doesn't always hear this stuff. Goats? Yeah, definitely a goat. If I can get a goat that ragdolls, just like Goat Simulator, that'd be pretty fun. But I think ragdolling is a little bit advanced my knowledge of game development. But if I can do ragdolling, imagine that general farm animals ragdolling as they fly towards the wall. You know, whack. I want this to be a slightly funny game. But yeah, throwing goats, cows, chickens. Save this. Replace. Close that. Close that. No to save. What have you made so far in the game? Right. Let's drag this wall crack in. So you haven't been able to see because I've been working on Photoshop. Let's see how this looks. Don't think that's going to work, but we'll find out. Nostalgia time. I'm going to do some Happy Wheels. Is it still live? Is Happy Wheels still live? There are ragdoll engines, but I never tried making games in Unity, so I have no idea if it's right. That's fair. There's a lot of weird and wonderful things in game development. Right, let's run the game. Let's show you folks, you new folks who've not seen this before. Right. So this is the game. There's not a lot going on. You can turn left and right. And you can move your little target up and down. And you can launch this rock at the building. The point of the game is that you need to hit this building in... There's invisible squares here. It's a grid of invisible squares. You have to hit all of them. And then... Angry Bird vibes, yeah. Angry Birds was definitely a thought in my mind joke. Can you walk around? You can't. That's technically you over there. So you're very much unconscious and moving things with your mind. So it's very much an Angry Bird scenario where the player effectively is stationary and you have to aim and throw things to knock it down. Right, so the other crack isn't working. I need to work out what's going on with that. But the idea being is you see these cracks appearing. You need to make sure the cracks appear on every spot they can appear on. And the controls are a little bit janky at the moment. That's one thing I need to learn how to do better. You can use the on-screen controls as well, if you want more accurate. Or if you're playing on the mobile. I was thinking of going around and grabbing anything to throw, like eggs, tie a damn cow. Nice, I thought the house was one big static object. No, so the house is made of many objects. Some you can't see. And some that don't actually exist. Or maybe it just looks blocky. Yeah, the house is an asset I downloaded because I've not quite ventured into making my own house assets and things like that. So it works as a stand-in for now. But the house is very much 3D. It's just the player can only see one side of it right now. So I've not done the end game animation. So the idea being, once all these cracks have been hit, it will crumble the building and it will fall to a pile of rubble. and level complete kind of thing. But right now, it just cracks the whole wall and then tells you well done. So the one thing I did just do didn't work. All these cracks are supposed to randomly pick a crack or another, not all of them. Time for sleep, good night. Well, thank you for dropping in, Abelma. Hope you have a good rest, and hope to see you next time. I do this every Friday. So if you're interested in my silly little game, or game dev in general, make sure you pop back next Friday. Alright, so I've got 116 out of 120 points hit so far. See if we can get the last. There we go. Level complete. You can still move the camera though. Maybe I should lock the camera once it says this. You can still throw the rock and all that. And hit things like the tower and stuff like that. Tower doesn't count. So play again, resets. So that's where we are with this. So rather than play again, I would like to have a button that says next level, and then I have another building for the player to throw rocks at. But we've not quite got there yet. So the thing I just changed didn't quite work out. So what I did change was the hit grid square. So that supposedly picks from one of these three cracks down the bottom here. So crack mat 2, crack mat 3. It's supposed to pick one of those three cracks. And then when the player hits the building, it will then apply one of those. Now, I can't remember if I've written the code. Let's have a quick look. I have not, that's why. That's why it didn't work. I did not write the code. Let's write the code now. So, at the moment, it just takes the first material. So what we want to do is for it to randomly pick one of three. Now, in effect, that is the same as you can roll like a d6. You can make the game roll a d6, and if it's one or four, pick first one. If it's 2 or 5, pick the next one. If it's 3 or 6, pick the last one. Sounds simple enough. Let's have a quick drink. Right, so let's work out a randomly selected number. So we need a integer, and call it dice, I suppose, and make dice equal 0 for now. So dice needs to equal math f dot now where is it? Is it math? Where is the random? Where is random? I thought it was a maths function. It is not. Let's just set 0. You need to have a quick look up to see a random number generator for Unity. Or C# in general. Random numbers in C#. How do we do this? R&D. Okay, it's a class called random. So random. Let's make a new random number. So let's copy that bit there. So that is So R&D is a new random object, supposedly. Why is it not happy? What is it unhappy about? Cannot declare a variable or static type random. Okay, what am I missing from this? I can feel my fingers tingling. I really miss working on Unity. Might have to start again soon. Ooh. What kind of things have you made in Unity before? See, I've been looking at Unity for a long time, but this is the first, outside of doing tutorial things, I've followed along with videos. So this is the first project I've worked on that isn't following a tutorial. It's obviously used pulling information from different places, but this isn't just a type this, click this, type that, add this in. This is me going, what can I do? So it's effectively my first project to test my knowledge. I do have a bigger project in mind, but this is just kind of me messing around. But I like the way that Unity functions. I'm quite proficient in C#, so it makes sense for me to kind of work with this engine. Certain functions like random I don't use very often though. Declare random as a static. Mainly made survival game styles, nothing big at all. Oh, that's cool. So do you have like different metrics the player had to maintain, like health, hunger and things like that? Or like building a shelter? Yeah. I'm kind of... The main thing I'm worried about with game development is finding a good balance where you cover all aspects equally. So I'm starting with this because you don't have to worry about balance. It's just you throwing a rock. But my bigger project will have to have some kind of balance. Made it so I could harvest materials and then build stuff like campfires, walls and such. Then tried adding multiplayer and that was a bit too hard for me, but it was really interesting to make. Awesome, that sounds really cool. Yeah, multiplayer, I wouldn't mind making multiplayer. I tried making a multiplayer game when I was in college, but without really understanding multiplayer, and I made something that worked. It crashed a lot of the times though, but it was a text-based game where you controlled a little character on the screen, like quite literally a keyboard character, like a star. So the player was a star, the other player was a star, and it basically wrote back to a central file of where each player's star was, and you can move around the screen. So it's like a little text-based game where it just moves around the screen. But if it tried to update the central data at the same time, it crashed. So I didn't have queuing or anything, so it didn't. Yeah, but that's the first kind of attempt to make a multiplayer game. But I found that fun and interesting, and I've not tried making games since college. And Unity's come along since then. Seemingly made the process a bit easier. I've noticed you can get plugins for Unity that make multiplayer easier, but still, it's still no walk in the park. So maybe this bigger project I'm working on, I wouldn't mind a multiplayer aspect, but it would definitely be a cooperative, such as I suppose survival games where you work together to achieve a goal. Otherwise, if you go PvP multiplayer, again, it's working out the balance and making it so each player has a fair chance of surviving and attacking the other player. Yeah, I'd also go for co-op. Yeah, I feel there's not. We're very much in the era of PvP. People like fighting other people. And I don't feel there's as much co-op experiences out there. So I'm all for making more co-op experiences, but let's get people together to achieve single goals. Like at the moment, every week I'm playing Stardew Valley with Colt Hikikomori and Colt Hikikomori and Nisaurus Rex in chat. And Stardew Valley is a great co-op game. PvP would be hard because you'd have to synchronize. I aimed at you, they'd be no, I'm behind the wall. Yeah, so many things to think about. And as you mentioned, like multiplayer is a headache in itself without working out the fairness. I love Stardew Valley. I just started a new playthrough with my girlfriend. A new update. Both love it. Awesome. Yeah, we just started a new game for the 1.6 update. Our next stream will be on Wednesdays. Normally on Mondays, but I'm actually going down to London on Monday to see the music of Stardew Valley played live by an orchestra. So I won't be streaming on Monday because of that. But we pushed our Stardew Valley stream to Wednesday next week. But it's a great game, Stardew Valley. Having a concert, yeah, it is called the Festival of Seasons. I'm not sure if you would have tickets to a venue near you. But they sold out pretty quick in the UK because we only have one venue, London. One venue in London, doing some tours around. But yeah, Festival of Seasons. The music of Stardew Valley. So that's going to be fun, just sit there. Too long a swim, yeah. I'm from Denmark, so it's quite a journey, but definitely... lost you. Definitely go check it out, yeah, have a look. There might be a venue near you. They are touring. I'm not sure where in Europe they're going to. If they should be going to Europe. It's mostly America, I feel. As most things are, annoyingly. But see if there's a venue in Europe. But it's not... I think I only found out about it through, like, hush channels, it seems. Oh, just seen your message. That game... oh, wow. I'd never seen that before. Yeah, it's very much a Flash game, that, isn't it? What was I looking for? Yeah, random. But yeah, Festival of Seasons. As soon as I heard about it, right, eagerly waiting to get tickets. Bang, got tickets. And I think they sold out in London. Cause it's one date for the entirety of the UK. It's crazy. Because surely there's a lot of Stardew Valley fans that enjoy the music and enjoy live performance enough to travel to London. Ideally, you'd have a couple of dates, like, but maybe if it's popular enough, they'll tour again. So, working on code for random numbers isn't as simple as it seems sometimes, because computers are not random. So, in order to force a computer to do something random, Oh wow, this is from 14 years ago. Maybe that's probably not the latest code. I remember getting a headache. I think it's easier to make a random float than round. Yeah. Typically, you find a number between 0 and 1, and then you pick a point, multiply it, and round it and stuff. I haven't coded Unity for a long time. That's fair, yeah. This question was asked specifically looking in C# forums. When was the last post? That was like 14 years ago. Let's find a more up-to-date means, because apparently that's no longer usable, possibly. C#, generate random numbers in C#. Let's look at this. Random class in C# provides defined methods for generating random integers. Most widely used method to generate integers is from the random class is .next. The random.next method has 3 overloads. Int returns a random number value less than a given number. 2 parameters gives a range between numbers. System.random. So why is Unity not liking? Because it recognizes random as a function, as a class. And hovering above it, you can't see the contextual thing that pops up, but it says easily generate random data for games. And then it informs me cannot declare a variable of static type random. Yeah, I'll assume so as well, as it's used all the time. Yo, just got here. What's cooking? How's it going? Color. There's a lot of letters there. Color for it. Oh. I'm hopeless at reading. But so welcome to the stream. So just dealer on the end of there. Call you dealer for the moment. Welcome to the stream. It means radiator dealer. If you want the Anglified version. Oh, awesome. Radiator dealer. So yeah, that's far easier to say. I can't speak English half the time, so anything from a non-anglicized language is going to be harder for me. But welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good Friday. We're making a game, or attempting to make a game right now. Specifically trying to make a random number. Hey, thank you for the follow on Twitch there, Joke. Much appreciate that. And that message is generally for the bots. We have a lot of people following and immediately going, buy my things. No. Unfortunately, more than I would like to admit. But as soon as they see the message, they are backing off now. You can usually tell if someone follows and then immediately doesn't say anything. Had one yesterday for the first time since ever. Oh wow. They are still around then. Well, thank you very much for the follow. It does mean a lot. Yeah, my friend streams as well. It's pretty funny. It's so obvious. Yeah. It's like, hi, how are you? What's your favourite games? What do you like to do for fun? Where are you from? Would you just check out my Discord? Let me send you a message. No, not interested. I kind of low-key find it slightly insulting that they want to sell me graphics, considering I have this masterpiece of a stream overlay. You're saying that my stream is shit and you want to improve it? Get lost. Plus, I don't want generic retextured overlays that every other streamer has. I'm not about that. I'd rather have something crude and unique than polished and reused. If that makes sense. Like this border, my camera border is literally done in Microsoft Paint. That, however, my logo is been... Well, my logo originally started in Microsoft Paint and has been polished by our friends to make it look sharp and sort of a lot better. My brain hurty for handling very dangerous substances without adequate safety equipment or protocol. Ooh, yeah. Sorry to hear that. There's unfortunately a lot of jobs and tasks that don't leave the worker very well afterwards. Cannot declare variable of static type random. Can I put that up here? Private static oh, read only. Okay. Well, we'll give anything a try here. Static read only. And what's now? Cannot declare. I don't get what's going on, Unity. You're not telling me anything. It was in school setting in preparation for a national contest. Oh no, that shouldn't. Definitely shouldn't have happened. Alright, let's take a break from the random for a second. Just no, let's not do it if. Let's not do it if. Let's do a select. Not a select, is it? Select switch. Can you randomize a float number? Let's go. Let's make a new float. Go dice 2. Let's go dice 2. Wonder what options we got for that. Now I'm obsessed with finishing it even once. Oh, I keep dying this level. Obsessed with finishing. Oh dear. Started on the path to the dark side. So apparently the random class produces a random number generator, and once we have the generator, math floor, yeah. I think we need to get the random number, and supposedly random. This line here is supposed to give me a random number anyway, and then I could floor it. But I need to get the number first. And from what I'm reading online, this is the C# for it. You gave up. Ah. But yeah, I've math.floored random numbers before. I'm actually using math.floor on something else on a calculation. But it's not a random number generator. Like, how is this article? This article tells me to do exactly what I'm doing. And Unity's given me the contextual information to suggest I'm doing something right, but also something wrong. Just looking at a few different things. It's always the things you don't think will cause you issues that cause you issues with coding. So I've done some fairly complicated things in this so far. Generating a random number is not something I envisioned to be complicated. So random equals new random, integer random number equals random.next. So random.next assigns a random number to a variable, but I can't even declare the random number to start with. And it's not, none of these articles are suggesting I need anything else. So to use the random number generator, create a new C# project, construct a random class instance, use the next function, give the random integers a range, utilize, I need to sign up to read more of the article. You have to specify it as random. It happens in every domain. Half my experiments failed because someone mixed up caustic soda with hydrochloric acid. Ooh. Yeah, sounds quite dangerous. Yeah, so there's a class in C# and by extension Unity called random. Sorry, not sure how this to do this anymore. I had many issues with random as well. That's fair. Thank you for helping, Joe. So usually suggestions kind of push one way or another. My donation notification etc. works, by the way. Ermic gave me money to check for sure. Awesome. That's cool. I'll have to send you some money to see it myself. I might have to Google why random doesn't work in Unity. That might be let's go Unity Unity random number scripting random values in Unity. You can pick random. There's a random color generator in Unity. That's quite cool. Generate random colors with color. So okay, random.value just gives you a random color. Is it just random? Is it just random then? Well, not needed. But if you really want to, favorite number is 666, of course. Let's comment that out. Can it just be random? Random dot next. Pounds, euros, dollars all accepted. Not yen. That's not enough. No, it needs to be a Western European currency. So random does not contain next. Zimbabwean dollars. I don't know what the exchange rate on the Zimbabwean dollars is. Random is a type but is not valid in given context. So, according to what I'm reading online, it should be as simple as doing this. rnd.next, and that should give me a random number. That's what the forums are telling me. But it's not like in declaring random, nor can I use random directly as a function. I need to declare a new object of type random and then use the object to generate a number and then assign it to the variable. And that's even on the Unity forums here. What am I missing? There's probably something simple here I'm missing. Random.value. Is it just dot value? Since you hear reggae when I then When I accept 666 Jamaican dollars, that's around €4, I think. That's fair. 100 trillion Zimbabwean dollars is 40 cents US dollars. Ah. Let's go random dot value. So the Unity forum suggests that typing that works. But that doesn't work either. Returns a random float. Okay, so value returns a float. Non-invocable member random.value cannot be used like a method. So is it... Whoops. Okay, let's put dice 2 as a float. Ah, I think we've got there. What's Twitch filtering out now? Maybe goes between knots. Value. Why is it blocked out the VA of value? What's Twitch up to now? Oh, because it's a dot. I think it's a... yeah, sorry about that. Happy birthday mods die by the way. Oh yeah, I saw something about the mods not liking. Yeah, so yeah, random dot value must go between 0 and 1, so that gives me that. So we have a random number. So what we can do to actually see what happens, we can go log dot not log, console dot log. I can never remember what it is. Debug dot log, there it is. So let's go debug dot log. Debug dot log. Go dice 2. So that's gonna unnecessary assignment of value dice 2 from line 18. I don't have to give it a value. Are you happy now in Unity? Printed them. Yeah, print works on other forms of C#. I think if you're using like a console application, print would work. That's it. That's a confusing thing, Joe. Because all different methods, different forms of languages achieve the same thing with a slightly different wording. Trying to remember them all when you use so many different languages. Like I use Visual Basic, C#, SQL, 3 different forms of SQL. Yeah, and so that's my day job, and trying to remember which syntax applies to which language can be a little bit difficult at times. So is that which one is it? Like commenting out, like C# is // VB is quote, SQL is --. So even that alone, commenting stuff out in different languages becomes a fun task in itself. Right. You've got a warning that dice isn't used. Don't need to warn me about that, Unity. Right. Let's open up the console. Okay, here's some values down here. I'm somewhat excited to see what random values show. Yeah, so down the bottom here is all our values. So we got 0.3124411, 0.93205225, 0.8262588, 0.22259006, 0.4946888, Looks nice, yeah. So, I'm thinking possibly multiplying that number by... We multiply it by 100. Yeah, we can work with that. And then multiply by number by 100. Floor it. And that'll give us a 2-digit number. 2-digit integer, I might add. So let's go dice equals dice 2. Oops, dice 2 times by 100. And wrap the whole thing. Go math dot what am I missing here? Oh, it needs about cast in there. There we go. But with floor it over be 0 anywhere between 99. Yeah. So I was basically rolling 100-sided dice at the moment, which is not what we want, but we can make it integer. We can then... Can we specify... No, we can't specify with random value. What we might have to do is give it some ranges, like between 0 and this number, choose this material, between 0 and that number, choose another material. It's not ideal. Like the random number generator where you specify these, the lower and the higher, would have been far better. I don't know why I can't get that working. Right, let's run this. There we go. So we now have some two-digit numbers. So we've got 8, 93, 83, 6, 58, 48, 1, 93, 48, 41, 11, 10, 14, 78, 76, 45, 15, 78, 12, 77, 60, 68, 25, 69, nice, 60, 48 and 61 and so on. You could multiply by 10, add 1, and then check integer between 1 and 10. Oh, that's true. I think I'll make it more accurate though. Yeah, so if it's between... I didn't get a 0 there. But ideally making it between 0 and 10 would be a bit more manageable rather than between 0 and 100. So let's do that. So rather than multiply by 100, let's go multiply by 10. And then add 1 to it. Oh, we want to floor it first, don't we? Floor it, then add 1. Let's run that. Let's see what we get. Let's go back over to the top. 6, 2, 9, 7, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 8, 10, 4, 1, 8, 10, 3, 3, 1, 5, 6, 10, 3, 9, 6, 6, 5, 6, 9, 4, 3, 8, 3, 3, 3, 6, 9, 6, 2, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 5, 4, 1, 9, 3. That seems fairly random. So we've effectively given ourselves a 10-sided dice now. If you get equal 1 and 10s, guess it should be okay? Yeah. We haven't got any zeros, and we haven't got anything above 10. So that calculation works, Joe. That's good. So that's doing a thing. So nice. Let's quit the game. So that's giving us a number between well, anything between the numbers 1 and 10, effectively. So we can't really know it. So that's 9 digits to work from. I should turn it into a function. Good point. Good point. What do they call it? There's a terminology in programming for what. Now I remember doing something like this. Refactoring. That's what it is, isn't it? Make a local function. So new method. Let's call a new method roll dice. And ideally, we'd like to make it a separate function. Keep that there. So we do want that to be a return integer. Return dice. Now we don't need to. Well, we can comment out debug. Keep it in there. So we can return the dice roll. We want is a switch case. Switch on roll dice. So we don't need that running separately. So it's going to be case one. Now do I list all numbers? I'll be case 1, 2, 3. Is that it? Oh no, you don't do it that way, do you? Case 2, case 3. That's how you do that. And that's going to be hit. Cut that there. And case 4, case 5, case 6. Put that back in there for the moment. Break. Case 7, case 8, case 9. So we've got one number 10. We have to work out what we're going to do with 10s. Break. Now I could put 10 in as material 1 again, because that was the first material. do this for now and work out a better way of doing that. Now I could change the 1 to 10 to a 1 to 3 through some kind of method, but I feel this gives me more options. Like if I want to add, I can add up to 10 materials this way and have it choose 1 of 10. And that'd be completely random. But as I've only got 2 materials so far and a duplicate of the first one, right, I can get rid of that. What was I looking for time? Oh wow, it's a lot later than I was expecting. Let's give this a test and see how it looks. I need to work on getting better materials. What have you hit a 7, 8 or 9? Or one of the non-material ones. So 7, 8 or 9 will give you material 3. 10 I've put down as material 1. Non-material. Oh. Yeah, it's probably a bit, it's probably not the best way of achieving this, but that's effectively doing it for now. I mean, you roll a 1 to 10, what have you hit a non-material case? Loot boxes? Nah, I'm very much against loot boxes. Very much against loot boxes. Maybe like non-financial loot boxes, like randomly generating a box in the game. I can probably get rid of that debug as well there. Ah, so that's a... I like the idea of like randomly... Oops, something like that. Randomly receiving gifts that you don't know what you're getting. But purchasing a loot box I'm very much against. Cause it's, I think a few countries have actually made that illegal now. So, yeah, if the generator only works on what I refer to as the hit squares. Now you can't see the hit squares, but there is a grid of squares covering this entire building. And it works on a trigger base, so when the rock passes through that object, it will switch the material to a crack. So it only runs the code when it hits one of those objects. So I can hit the tree as many times as I want. It won't crack. It does, as it is, doesn't matter what is physically behind the crack. If it's a glass window or a wooden door, it's still very much showing the same crack listing. So it's a little bit unrealistic in that way. Like, a window won't have a hole necessarily, but it might do. If the glass smashes, you might end up with a hole into the building. But I could go as far as adding more than 3 options. But as the random number generator is between 0 and 1, it is very much a 10 base number. But I like the idea of, say, with loot boxes, what game was it? One game that immediately comes to mind that was on the PlayStation 1 was Micro Machines v3. Now, every time you won a race in Micro Machines v3, it would randomly select a Micro Machine to award you for your collection. It was, well, there's a higher chance for less rarer Micro Machines. Like, you might get the same Micro Machine a number of times, but you might get a more special one every 20 races. You go, ooh, I've not got that one yet, and you add that to your collection. So I could do that with like the animals. Like, to get the animals, you have to complete the level so many times, and it randomly select you an animal to give. Pity system. What kind of pity system do you think? So, like, if the player is struggling, give them better things. I know pity systems like that generally can be cheesed. If you purposely do badly, you can then get a boost to make you do better. So that's good. So the playing it again gives you different cracks. So it is definitely more random than it could be. You could play the game again and actually have exactly the same cracks in the same places. I'm not sure how often I would like to see this full hole appear. So maybe based on this number generation, the hole could be over like 9 or 10 maybe. And then have different types of cracks for the other ones. For how often you want them to see. I hate loot boxes, basically gambling, and the reason it works is because less people do it, but the overall profit is way higher, therefore reducing game quality for money. Yeah. The full hole should be a rare one for sure. Yeah, I agree. So we can adjust the numbers now. But we know that works. So at the moment the hole is on material 2. So I could put the hole on material 3 or even material 4 and have that slightly rarer. So let's make a 4th material. Make the whole material 4 and get 2 other materials which is more of a crack rather than a hole. Make material 4. So we can make number 10 material 4. Save that. And make sure I give it material, otherwise the game will not like me. Hits grid square. Now have a 4th material. Let's make a 4th material. Oops, come on. Create material. And call that crack mat 4. Oh. Let's make that cut out. Let's change all these settings to be the same. So that is 0.025. That is a 1, that's a 0. And that is a 150 on the transparency. Now is that identical? Oh, you need to untick these boxes because we don't want reflections. Cool. And let's put that crack on there. So now I have 3 materials using the same crack, which I want to swap out. But a 4th material, which is the hole. And the hole should now be a more... I didn't double click that. Let's drag the fourth material into the fourth slot down here. So we should get the regular crack in 3 cases, but if it rolls a 10, we should get the hole. Let's see how that looks now. Rolled. It's certainly happening more often than you'd expect. Maybe just roll a few 10s to start with. RNG, yeah. So you'd expect it to, it's definitely rolling 10s a lot more than you'd expect. But considering the amount of cracks there, it might not be as noticeable. So each of those squares are rolled between 1 and 10. And it's probably reasonable to take that many squares have rolled a 10, especially if it's random. It looks better. It looks better like that. Obviously, there's going to be a third of it. Hopefully, should be this crack that's currently showing. A third would be another crack, and the last third would be a further crack. It seems good. Will look better once you add more cracks. Yeah. So I need 2 more crack materials. I still have the web page open, so I'll grab a couple more. But the hole being so black certainly looks better as the 10. So that solves my my numbers problem. Because yeah, I can pick out a 3 like my initial idea, but the 10th roll is actually a full hole, and that rhymes. Awesome. And it's just for playtesting purposes, just for a few more, see how the I kind of don't like that it's triggering multiple squares at the same time. But that's something I might have to look at, because at the moment it's making it far quicker than it could be for only triggering 1 square at a time. Do you like Steve Jobs? Random isn't random enough. Yeah. It's one of those things they did, wasn't it, in the iPod Shuffle? Is that people complain the iPod Shuffle wasn't shuffling enough. But in actual fact, it was random. It's just the chances of getting the same artist 2 songs in a row is just as plausible as having 2 different artists. But people actually wanted, if it was random, they wanted 2 different artists played after each other, not the same one. Exactly, I don't own an Apple product, but I like the concept, yeah. But it's the problem with computers being random. It is truly random, but a human concept of random is to have seemingly no pattern. As soon as a pattern emerges, it doesn't feel random anymore. But a pattern is just as likely to happen than no pattern. Recurring patterns should not happen. Like widely recurring patterns like this is not random. You can see there's a huge pattern of the same crack. But as soon as I have more materials, it will look more random. But that looks, I like the way that looks. There's enough holes in the different random places. So I just need to add other cracks. But we've run over my planned stream time, but I'm happy, and thank you for the help today, Joke. It's one of the things I enjoy streaming things like this, is that more eyes on a thing usually helps resolve things quicker. It was nice. We're glad to hear. But I'll be continuing this next Friday. I only do a couple of hours every Friday, so progression's going to be quite slow. I sometimes do things off stream. I might be lying here in bed and just a light bulb goes off and go, I'll quickly do that thing. And I've done that a few times now, but I try and update my Discord with my dev notes. I didn't do it last time, but I should do it for definite today, because we made some progress. It doesn't feel like it's a lot of progress, but in these 2 hours I've sourced a crack or a hole, generated the random code generator and made that happen and tested it, which is the important thing. So update the notes on my Discord, which is of course free to join down the bottom there. And I usually post what I'm up to in there. Next stream, I was trying to source 2 more cracks for next stream. The other things I want to do is look at swapping out the rock. Maybe build a system that allows you to swap the rock for different things, and then work out a means of supplying those to the player. And also, I need to look into that plugin for Unity that allows you to slice assets. I don't know how that works, but last week DevBB recommended a GitHub depository for a plugin that will slice up the asset, which might make the building falling down a bit more easier to deal with, rather than me. My original concept was to just hide the building and then immediately replace and generate a lot of falling bricks. But if I can slice up the original asset and have it fall, that'll look more realistic than it just popping into a load of bricks, which is what my original concept is. One might work better than the other, I don't know. But we'll have a look at that next week. But yeah, be the same time next week, next Friday. My next stream will be on Wednesday playing Stardew Valley. As I said, my Monday stream will be postponed because I'm going down to London. So yeah, let's switch to the camera for a sec. Yeah, thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Joe. It's been awesome chatting to you. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Lisa. Hope you have a good concert. Thank you, Joe. I will certainly indeed. I'll be telling everyone about it on Wednesday. Have fun at the concert. Thank you. See you soon. Yes, I'll be back on Wednesday. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Make sure you relax, do things you enjoy. Send a new mod pack, yes please. We'll get those installed for Wednesday. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the beginning of next week. I'll be back on Wednesday and doing some more game dev on Friday next week. So if you enjoyed that, make sure you pop back for then. Have a great weekend. Thank you, you too, Lisa. See ya, Joke. Thanks for dropping in. All the emotes there. Thank you, Obama, who dropped in, and Dealer, Radiator Dealer on YouTube. And Max, hope you're having a great sleep, dude. And anyone else who's been lurking, you're all awesome. Have a great weekend, have a good night, and I shall see you then. Turtle. Have a good night. Good night.